don't make it all about it's just because I'm a woman. Sometimes it's not. The person would have challenged you whether you were a man or a woman. So sometimes just look through that lens of realizing maybe there's an issue here. Is there something I need to adjust? But when it's blatant, you need to address it.
Local stories, global insights. This is the OyaGistMe Podcast.
Oya now, we dey come.
From the streets of the neighborhood to the corners of the world, this is where story meets, laughter flows, and real conversation happen. Hello there and welcome to the OyaGistMe Podcast, your favorite gist hub where local stories meet global insights. I am Eglina, also your host, and with me is my co-host,
Akanem.
And on this episode, we'll be talking about a very controversial topic that everybody loves to talk about, which is leadership and legacy, thriving as a woman in media and events.
I just wanted to scream girl power. First of all, before I do that, I like to call her a powerhouse in heels joining us. See what I did there?
Word.
Okay, so we have an amazing woman joining us on the show today. She is a seasoned event and media veteran, a monetization coach, and the founder of Ocean and Green, amongst other foundations. Wow. Okay, I feel like that's a lot. I feel very honored right now. So basically, she is all about promoting growth in business as a person, and just help us give a warm OyaGistMe welcome to Mrs. Olawunmi Heavens.
Hey ladies, I feel so special.
We feel honored to be here.
We feel honored you're joining us on the show today.
The honor is all mine. I'm excited.
Okay, I can't stop smiling. You're as excited as I am.
Just hold it there, please. Let's just get right into it already,
I'm
Just
gonna take your power now because it's like, okay, let's get into it.
Okay, Ma. As we earlier said, we'll be talking about leadership and legacy, thriving as a woman in media and events. I know it's actually a lot because as a veteran that you are, I'm sure a lot has happened. Your journey to the media and all of this. So can you just give us an insight of your journey into the media and events and how you got there? Because I know, of course, for lots of people, their first degree wasn't really entertainment. And maybe it's just more like you having a flair or passion for something, and then you came to landslide. Yeah, right. So
You're actually very right, yeah.
Okay.
You mentioned that first degree. I actually studied education.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And the teacher in me is still right there because anywhere I get to, I'm still teaching, whether in the media space, events, monetization, I'm still doing that.
Wow.
Well, how did I start? I'm not a first generation media veteran.
Okay.
My mom retired as a producer and presenter.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Now we see where it's coming from.
I will tell you that it's a generational thing.
Okay.
So when I was growing up, my mom used to read the news on NTA. Fola Shadi Brime on NTA News. That was her voice. You would think that reading the news was contagious. I can't read the news to save my life. So I think just watching her on TV, I would basically just sit and say, Mommy, I'm reading the news in Spanish accent, in American accent. It was just something very exciting for me. And I would watch her, and whether we liked it or not, my mom would bring the cameras to our school, even as little as when I was 4. And so we would have poems, talk in front of the camera. I got comfortable there.
Wow.
And then, because at that time, as I was growing up, NTA used to have a production that was for children. The Christmas where you get to see Santa and all that. The events, because she was the producer, she was the one also planning it.
Whoa.
So she would take her book and she would write every single thing. And it was usually like a 3 or 4 day event. So she used to produce them New Dawn on 10, AM Express, Antifumi Yonda and the likes. And I would be running around there. And so I watched her do that. And I remember I picked it up. And so in university, for some weird reason, I just loved organizing. And so in fellowship and other places, I would volunteer. So someone just comes one day and says, You like organizing things. Someone wants to plan a party for a 1-year-old. At that time, there was nothing. People didn't used to call us event planners. In fact, that day I had to say, okay, then maybe I'm a party planner. And so I'm like, okay, so can you do it? I said, I can. The whole party, I said yes. And I remember that I had to loan transportation because the place was so far from school. I was in the hostel. I went to Lasso, and then I went all the way there. Because of the experience I had going with my mom and how she would talk about everything she was doing, I spoke and they were so confident that, man, this is our planner. Trust me, I ran back to my mom. I was like, Mommy, I've taken a whole event.
Really?
I even gave them the bill and all. At that time, I remember my first profit was 10,000 naira.
Wow.
But bear in mind, this is the scope. My pocket money was 500 naira per week.
Oh, wow.
Including transportation from Bagada to my school and back. So I got weeks and weeks of my money. And then she said, you know what, bring your book. All the things you've seen me do, start writing. That's how we planned the event. My mom was there. I didn't have any complimentary cards, so I made I put my phone number on pens and gave them out as souvenirs. Wow. I remember wearing an apron that had my number on it.
That's very innovative.
And then the media bit, I was already in front of the TV. I realized that I just loved cameras. I was talking to someone and I said, cameras love me, I love them. When I see cameras, I'm happy, naturally. And so I just started volunteering at an NGO and an INGO, International Non-Governmental Organization. And just naturally, I drifted to media. Even when I was vice president, I became vice president media and publicity or media and sponsorship.
Wow.
So I found myself speaking. I did speech contests. I realized I could think on my feet. Before you knew it, I got to a point I decided I have to formally be in front of the TV. And so I had my first show, I think about 16 years ago.
Wow.
It was called Vibes, myself and one other guy. We called him Uchpi. And we would go to the red carpets to do interviews and then the studio to do this top 10 videos. That's what we were doing at that time. And then before you knew it, I joined a live show. On and on. Before you knew it, some other live show called me. I was all on the show 1 hour, directing between myself and Kate, Ben Edo, and the likes. And the rest they say is history. It's a long history.
You're so inspiring.
That's been a journey.
It's really been a journey. As I will not even say as, because you're already a mentor and I'm a mentee. So from now henceforth, you guys are watching. You guys are watching.
It's on record already.
Exactly. Good. We are now mentees, please. Anytime. Or let mentees or apprentice.
Whatever you call it. Don't worry, we'll come up with a tag.
Okay. I'm talking about events and media space. Of course, being women, like you thriving as a woman in media and events. Can you tell us about the challenges, maybe some challenges you've been through because you're a woman and all of that? Basically before, back in those days, they were always men, on TV or taking the emceeing and all of that for events and would I say media space too? No, but the reaction women
generally, like in entertainment industry generally, mostly dominated by men. So
can you really share some of the challenges you went through?
I would say, that is tripartite. Being young, you have your challenge. Being a woman, you have another challenge. I'll give an example. I remember, I think it was 2005. I had an event. I handled logistics for NEPAD Summit in Abuja here. And I remember that there was a man. I was so tiny. Now I've really grown. I was in my 20s. I looked tiny. And I remember the tone that he spoke. But unfortunately for him, I am a Margaret Thatcher. I'm better now. I laugh, I smile. But at that time, I had to really build myself and brace myself to be able to face those things. And so when it was done, I remember sternly telling him, okay, he wanted a taxi. We had some taxis lined up that would take them from hotel to hotel and then event. There was a lot I was doing, and this man was just very rude, horribly rude. And I told him, I'm sorry. I can never forget. I said, I'm sorry. There are no cars left. After he had screamed on top of his voice, I'm sorry, Mom, if you see this. I just said, I was just so upset. Because I couldn't be rude, I just said, there are no cars left. He said, check again. I said, I have checked. There are none.
Yeah.
So he went to someone who was in charge of the event, but the lady knows me very well. So she was like, please talk to her again. Just be polite. So the guy comes up like, my daughter, which I didn't name, but at least it was nice. It was like, he embarrassed me at the reception terribly, but I decided I would never be rude to anybody. I'm not going to play your game. So he now said, my daughter, please, can you help me check? I just took the phone and called the guy right away. That please come and pick up someone. He's right here. Meaning that I just let him know he was there all along, actually. So I said, please pick him up. And I said, sir, when will you be coming back? He told me, I said, wait and pick him up. Wait for him. I know it's not the rule, but pick him up. He was so grateful because I went above and beyond. I just wanted him to accord me human, courtesy, just decency. Yeah. And I've had such cases, but for me, I think it's not. Yes, people's experiences are different. It's not as horrible as some people say because I've not been in their shoes. Yeah. Or maybe I just have not noticed as much. I grew up a tomboy. And so there's some things you do that it's like water over my feathers. I don't notice. I just think maybe there's something, maybe you're upset. I've probably not noticed that maybe you're doing it because I'm a lady. But those who have outrightly come out, like I've run for office in an international organization and the person said it categorically that a woman cannot run for this office. Wow. And someone wanted me to run. I said I wasn't going to run. But immediately I said, please, that form, do you still have it? They say yes, and I signed it. I love a good challenge. And when I was done, I gave them their creed and told them, I'm single, but when I have daughters, I would never want my daughter to associate with this organization if it's proven at the end of the day that we are chauvinistic. And I said, let the best man win. And I can tell you, with our track record, I am the best man for this job. It was a room filled with mostly men. I won with a landslide. Whoa. And so for me, I'm like,
that's the energy.
Just thank you.
The energy.
Reach on.
So you step out. So I've seen those challenges, but I realized the balance here is don't make it all about it's just because I'm a woman. Sometimes it's not. The person would have challenged you whether you were a man or a woman. So sometimes just look through that lens of realizing maybe there's an issue here. Yeah. Is there something I need to adjust? Yeah. But when it's blatant, you need to address it. You need to address it because what they need to know, sometimes they just need clarity. Yeah. And you might be their coach for that moment. Yeah. Or step out of the spaces if it's becoming too aggressive.
Okay, speaking of stepping out, let's talk visibility now in the media and event space. Now, we've already established the fact that most of these industries we find ourselves in mostly male-dominated. So how can a woman in this industry position herself to be seen, position herself properly without having to compromise values?
You need to first of all start by knowing that I don't have values to compromise. Do you understand? Because when you feel like maybe if you're someone that shifts the goalpost a bit and say, let me just tilt a bit to make this work, you will always do that. It has nothing to do with it. Because people will face you. You understand? Yeah. But you need to realize there's no value. It's either I get it fair or I go home. And saying that reminds me of, I think when I was in university, part of what I also did was be on calendars. I used to do calendar modeling. I loved runway, but I was not tall enough. And I used to usher, so I was on calendars. And I remember that I walked into a space, I will not mention the agency, they're still thriving right now. And I walk into the agency. Yes, I had flat tummy, figure eight, it was obvious. And at that time, I didn't even like the attention. I walk into the office and the guy says, your tummy is so flat. Wow, do you do anything? I said, no, that's just me. Mention my name, I'm this tall. I smile for the camera, smile. No, he now says, oh, lift your top, let me see this, your stomach. I'm like, do you understand? Decades, I'm talking about decades ago. Not even now that people wear crop tops. Then, the bad girls in our eyes used to be people who wear tight tops. Those tight long tops that you're like, oh, wow, she's a bad girl. And her skirt was up to her feet, but yet it's clinging, so she's a bad girl. So you can understand. They're like, your tummy. I said, what? He said, no, lift up your top. I said, never. I just said, never. Because there's no way. So he looks at me, shocked. And I thought they weren't going to give me the job. They gave me the job. Or when they said, you decide your boundaries. Exactly. So when you get to a space, and you'll be surprised that a lot of men actually champion the cause of women. They have daughters, they have wives. There are people who will listen to you. So the idea is know your boundary. What am I willing to give? Am I willing to play the long game? The mistake is that now people are not patient because swipe left, swipe
At
right.
all.
TikTok
No
is short.
patience. Exactly.
Why is it short? Why are they short? Because attention span is shorter. The same way people want to get there and then next week I'm there.
Yeah,
The people you just heard of, they've been there for decades. You didn't just hear they were working. So play the long game, ensure you have your own boundary, and then strive to be the best there so that they can't overlook you. There's some places where they get there and they remove you. They're like, no. Like there are places that I've presented. When they have live shows or special shows, even though I'm no longer there, they call me. Please, can you help us? We have a January 1st show. We have a special guest coming. Or it's a live show and it's going to be from the OB van. There's no cuts, no mistake. So just continue so that you are noticed. And yes, you can do things in silence, but when you're in a team, and this is why I tell people even when I'm training, let your contribution be known. People forget, I call it humility because it's not humility. You are in a team. Yes, toot your horn. Gone are the days when you don't toot your horn. Don't be nasty and proud about it. But you came together as a team and you did something. Be able to say, even when you're the one, someone else is presenting it, be able to say, okay, so we came together and as a team we did this. I was able to find out this and this. I did a research on this show and this happened. Oh, thank you so much for your contribution. She was also able to help me with. Otherwise, it's going to look like then you find the bold people who come and say, when we're doing this, I came up and then you keep quiet. I'm not saying fight the person.
They take the credits all the way. And
exactly.
You're not being mentioned
Don't
anywhere.
tussle, but let yourself show. Toot your own horn. I can do it. Thank you so much. Even they didn't mention you the last time, you were able to say, oh, I was able to contribute towards that the last time, so I can do the research. I can find out about that. I'm very good with this. And prove yourself. Before you know it, who doesn't want a good outcome?
Of course.
When they have no choice, push comes to shove, they will call the best.
True. Word.
So for me to say this is that like another way to stay to maintain relevance actually? Because I mean the world is changing, this digital space is changing. So what are like some practical things or ways we can maintain relevance?
Now, if you're within an organization, I've already mentioned that. If you're saying in public view, let me give an example. You're in a space now that everybody, so many people are coming and say, oh, I'm a coach. I teach you this, I teach you that. You need to have evidence, which most people don't have.
They show what you.
Do you understand? Okay, that's the way to say that. My class is that they show workings. I have to show workings. I've corrected myself. Now, you might think that, for instance, people write a job posting and they tell you, I want somebody who is 30 years old with 10 years experience. Or you've graduated and they told you they want someone with 3 years experience. So now you'll be at home for 3 years. And when you get it in third year, you still don't have experience. What I will tell you, volunteer. Give yourself experience so that you have reviews.
True.
For instance, if I come to you and say, oh, I teach people to speak, or I'm a TV presenter and I've groomed a lot of people, what's my evidence? Now, if you find my page or you look at what I do, you will see people who have come up or given me 5 stars or spoken about it or relevant. Now, the strategy is not, they might not even have paid. If I ask you now what you're going in for, you probably taught a lot of people. But you didn't even ask them for review. You didn't even tell them, okay, please send me a message. Where were you when you started? How did you cope? Now, how did what I said help you? You're waiting till you become a professional. You're there for 10 years.
Wow,
I'm telling you the mistake we made.
True.
Now you now have to go back and look for all those people and say, please, can you give me a review? The last time I took you on a class. So get your evidence now. That CV you're building, do you know right now, you've presented how many shows, maybe you've presented 10 episodes here, 20 episodes there, you have not even jotted it down. I've presented when it comes to business development, I've presented this, you've not written it down. I've interfaced with political entities.
Wow.
So build a footprint is what I would say. Be deliberate about building the footprint. I hope that helps.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It's really inspiring actually. I've actually gotten a lot. No, actually, I get to keep some things, but then it's a lot now. I need to go jot down a lot for myself now. So, as a woman in the spotlight, how do you maintain your authentic voice in a fast-paced industry?
I will tell you that I don't believe, people ask me sometimes, like I remember doing a show, I think decades, I had a baby then, He's 11 now, but he was about 3. I put him on my back. I love to put my kids on my back because they feel warm. It makes them sleep. And family is very important to me. So I put him on my back and I went to buy something just in front of the house. And then someone starts looking at me and looking at me and looking at. And I'm like, is there a problem? She said, no, this is the way she said, were you the one speaking English on that show? And I laughed. I said, oh, okay, Olawunmi Heavens. She said, hi, I'm Olawunmi Heavens, but you guys can call me Ola. He said, yes. That auntie. I said, she's in the TV. I can never forget. She said, she's in the TV. This is mommy here.
Yeah.
And then she didn't understand. I said, no, you don't get it. It's me, right? But that persona, just like acting, that persona is gone.
Yeah.
This is me right now. Otherwise, if you do not, especially for someone like me who is multifaceted and multidimensional, you will have issues. You will fragment if you don't learn to drop the heart. So what I do is drop it. I'm here now, I'm talking about myself. The next minute, if I go and sit and I'm home, I don't remember this. I will come back to it when it's time.
True.
I'm waiting for, my kids are going to close. The school bus is coming. What are we going to have for lunch? I have a Zoom class. I need to talk to someone.
Yeah.
So for me, it's about realizing, don't be swayed by the noise. Because if anything happens, you realize that you are not important. Everybody is important. If something happens and there's a challenge, you realize people are like, he wasn't all that. That's life. So ground yourself. Don't wait for situations to ground you. Tell yourself already, this is me. And then you find out that wherever you find yourself, people can tell that you're humble. People can tell that you're not full of yourself.
True. Yeah.
All this, and then what also helps me is to tell yourself it's a gift. The way I tell my kids, the way you speak is a gift. The way you look is a gift.
Yeah.
The way you think is a gift. It will help you to be gracious to others. So because someone comes now and they went to a more important school and then they're shelling bullets, they can't speak, they have like an Igbotic accent or a Yoruba accent, age factor, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you know that this is grace, do you understand? You are not going to treat the person anyhow.
Sure.
Knowing that that could have been me, that helps you. Because throughout your life, you realize that this is grace. It's just part of the story. We've not even gotten anywhere.
I was to actually ask you how you balance your creative work and leadership, but then you had already given us a hint of how you do that. So should we still talk about it?
It depends on you.
Let me go, just for it to be on record. How do you balance it all?
Okay, so balancing, I would tell people that balancing is a myth.
Okay.
It's a myth. It's juggling. You know when you juggle balls, there's one in the air, one is coming down, the other is in your hands. Yeah. When we say balance, it's almost as if there's a tray here, a tray on my head. And somehow, that's the image I have. Someone just walking and they're like, madam, you are balancing. Figured out. There's no such thing. It's juggling. Okay. You throw one in the air, you're holding the other. Why? Because who can do it? Even when you are telling me I don't need sleep. Yes, there's sometimes, a lot of times I work across time zones because of people I'm working with in Canada, America. I have to be awake or I'm praying. There are different parts of me. So I need to be able to balance. I tell myself, for instance, you're not sleeping because you're busy. Like today, I told myself, I said, today is about me. Before the kids come, I'm not doing anything, of course. Not doing anything. You find yourself doing a bit of paperwork. I'm here. So I'm basically doing something, but I'm saying wound down my day. So live in the moment, because if you don't live in the moment, you'll be chasing that big thing. You will lose time. You will be wondering, when did this happen to you? When did this happen? Yeah. So for me, I'm very particular about living in the moment. So if I'm here with you, I'm here with you. I forget every other thing, whether negative or positive. Immediately I leave here, so you can sense, because I watch people a lot, I'm looking at your expression. That's why I look around a lot sometimes. It's not about what you're saying, it's about the way your expressions are talking to me. So when I leave there, I want to be present elsewhere. That's why someone laughed when I said, if I wasn't doing all these things, what would I be? I said, a housewife. And it looked ridiculous to the person. It sounded bizarre. You know why? Because when I'm home, I'm very happy. I'm zen. I'm seeing my kids, they are running, they are jumping, they think I'm in bed. I'm very happy in the moment. But then I look at my alarm, I'm like, I have a meeting. Right there, I forget them. Do you understand? As long as there's nothing wrong with you, just cool down. I'll be there in a few minutes. I head out to my next meeting. I'm present. So juggle it and then know when to stop. You're not superwoman. Nobody's going to grade you by that. You know, people think, oh no, so I won't drop the ball. My sister, I will tell you, I'm going to drop this particular ball. It's not mine. I can't add it to what I have right now. You know, because people blackmail you emotionally. I've had that kind of thing before. I'm also in ministry, and so sometimes you have people say, no, but we called you, no answer. You called me. I was sleeping. Do you understand? I was sleeping. Or you called me. My husband called me right there as you are. The king has called. I don't have your time right now. I'm sorry. Do you understand? So right there, so that he doesn't feel like he's secondary to every other person. So sometimes like, you're busy, aren't you going? I say, no, today you want to be around? I'm around. I shut everything down. So I'm juggling. They will be well and okay when I come back. Don't worry, you'll all be fine. Even the world will be fine. So juggle and know when to say no. That no will save you. A lot of people learn late how to say no. I'm sorry, no. If I add this to my plate, I might not be okay. And not being okay is not an option. So I'm so sorry. Maybe later on, let's look at 6 months down the line. I might have a lighter weight. We might take, but it's amazing. Such an amazing job. I'm moving on, my sister. Don't die.
What a sweet way of saying it, no?
Honestly,
Don't die. Just
sometimes you know, and you're so excited to hear no from that person.
It's emotional intelligence. It's amazing. Beautiful. I'm moving on.
Okay, so we're actually talking leadership and legacy. Yeah. So let's talk about legacy now. What does legacy mean to you? I mean, personally and professionally, of course.
For me, I say legacy is that footprint that you leave behind. Legacy is building beyond yourself. And when you build beyond yourself, there's some things you won't do and there's some things you do. It's almost like the iceberg effect. The iceberg, what you see is not the main thing. You just assume, oh, look at ice. Drive your ship that way. That's what took down, Titanic. That humongous, gigantic edifice. So for me, building is building beyond myself and understanding that integrity is a currency. Will there be things that will test your strengths in that line? Yes, of course. But when you build to last, when you build beyond yourself, you realize that it's not just about your family. People can come a decade later and say, wow, because of this person, I'm here. Because she said this, I channeled towards another place. You're leaving a footprint where people can see, even if they decide to deny it, which is, normal. Even if people deny it, there is a DNA that you carry that you've already deposited that builds that thing. I believe that when we get to heaven, there will be a bank of everything that you have done. That's my personal belief. And so for me, it's building beyond yourself, building for impact, building for the next generation. The same way when it comes to events. People think, oh, you are training events because, people think, oh, we'll teach events. When you're in events, I've been there for 23 years, if I'm not mistaken. And I train thousands. There's some who are doing events in Canada, in different places now. I don't train it because I need that money. Money is cool. But I'm training it because I'm very excited. I love training. I love teaching. So when I see you doing good, I'm like, wow, amazing. To me, that's legacy. I'm replicating myself. So I don't teach and now hide some things. I don't understand why people do that. You can't be me, even if I teach you well.
A lot of people do that because they're scared of
No. Even in media. Exactly. So if I teach you whether to be a TV presenter or upgrade yourself in TV presenting, why would you pay? And then I'm holding back, and then I'll not be proud of myself when I see you make a blunder later that I could have corrected. No, that's not legacy. That's not legacy. That's why some names you hear now, you just call them and you're like, wow. Why? Because they've built, even they don't even know how much the ripple effect they've created it. So it's creating that ripple effect that even when you look back, you'll be proud of. Even if I'm not here, your kids can say, oh, I went there. And they say, oh, is that your mom? Wow. In so time, this happened. I came across her. Or I came across her post. Or she said this. And that changed my life. That's legacy. That's legacy. And money can't buy it.
True.
Money can't buy it. And, and I will give you this example, not even personally. I was having a meeting here. Someone I didn't know from anywhere. and they were going to have an event in a parastatal. And then he mentioned, "Oh, where are you from? You speak Yoruba." And I mentioned where my mom was from. And I said, my grandfather was a judge. And he mentioned, he said there was a judge once in that place who came without his pen to the court, and he filed himself his 1 month salary. He said, "Clerk, put it down. 1 month salary because I forgot my instrument." That was my grandfather.
Oh,
That's legacy. That's legacy.
really nice. Yeah.
Where his name is currency. I think that's it for me.
Yeah, that's everything.
You're acting like you're gobsmacked.
That's
I'm like, am I on
a lot of things you said. I really caught my fancy, and then I'm just lost in thoughts already. Wow.
I know.
But this is really good. So, if you could write a letter to your younger self while you were starting, what would it be? Your younger self.
Yeah, younger
Amy,
self.
I'm a very visual person, so I can see myself
Yeah.
like just standing there. I would tell her, "Olawunmi, be patient with yourself."
Lena, be patient with
patient
yourself. I'm saying that.
I would tell her, "Olawunmi, you're an amazing person. You might not fit the mold of every other person. You might be different from every other person, but Olawunmi, you are special. You were created for a season." People would actually look at you and say, "I want to be like you."
Yeah.
Because I know what I went through at that time. I would tell her, "Olawunmi, just keep building. Be proud of who you are. You are smart. You are intelligent.
Yeah.
You have what it takes. Don't worry. Your time of relevance is coming."
Yeah.
And don't let them affect your heart. Just be you. Keep being at the service of people. That's who you are. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You're doing great.
So let's say I'm quite emotional right now.
I don't want to cry.
I've really learned a lot, and thanks for those affirming words.
This
Yeah,
has
so
been,
good.
this whole conversation has been rich.
Oh my God, I'm tearing up.
No, it
I
just
wish I had told myself
no,
that.
it's actually a lot, and then this is what we are supposed to take in now, and that's why I felt quite emotional. Thank God I didn't tear.
No, I'm tearing
Thank you
up.
so much, Ma.
Wow, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
That was-
I'm so happy I did this.
Yeah,
Thank
this
you.
has been amazing. We are
And
happy.
now
That was great. Thank you so much. Yeah. Do you have more questions or?
I mean,
Sorry, guys. We're so sorry.
what better way to end the show?
Really.
This is beautiful. It's
Okay, I
amazing.
think I need to calm
So
down
rich.
more. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ma, for joining us. I think I've actually learned a lot, and I'm sure lots of audience out there have taken a lot of what you've said already. While you were saying things about your younger self, what you should like, it was directed. It was more like you were
it
talking
felt
about
like-
me. Yeah, it feels like, oh, this is a message to me. It's a message to oneself that everybody should take. And
Yeah.
it's really amazing. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. I really love that, and I'll sure work with you one day from now henceforth.
I am hoping
We are
to
your
it.
mentees.
I look forward to it. Now you
It's
girls are
somebody
making me
on
cry.
Sorry.
But yeah, whole conversation, like I said, it's
Yeah.
been rich,
So rich.
very honest, a lot of depth. And
Yeah.
Wow, I think we actually needed this.
Okay, guys. What a wonderful way to end the show. It's really been an amazing show with Mrs. Olawunmi Heavens. I still love the name. I don't know why. Yeah.
Like this. Oof.
Yeah, right.
Now we see what comes to the name.
Yeah,
Stop.
exactly, the wisdom. So it's really been an amazing show, and I can tell you we've taken a lot of things home, and I'm sure you all did too. Thank you so much, Ma, for coming.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and y'all make sure you like, subscribe,
Yes.
comment. Yes,
Comment. And if you enjoy this episode
Yeah.
as much as we enjoyed making it, do well to share. Someone needs to see this.
Yes, please. So see
So
you
many
in
people
the
need
next
them.
episode.
Bye.
Bye.